Alright, YouTube Digital. I just did my video on balls. Now I'm going to do video on rights. A lot of people on here. My rights, my rights, my rights, the Fourth Amendment, the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. You know, fuck. People like to fucking talk about their rights. You know, whatever. If that's what you need to get off, then fine. Talk about your rights. I don't care. And I'm not talking about people who know what the fuck they're talking about. You know, like Lambdog and Sean Oppie and Francis and stuff like that. They know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm talking about people who don't know what they're talking about. That don't understand how it all works. Okay? I'm talking about those people. Okay? Let me give you some examples. Let me break it down for you. Okay, so let's talk about the Second Amendment. I have a right to the Second Amendment. The right to bear arms. Ain't that cool? Okay. You know what's cool? Is my daughter has a right to the Second Amendment to bear arms. When she comes of age, of course. Okay. So, you're like, we know that. Okay, did you know that my rights to the Second Amendment are no greater, no better, or cannot interfere with my daughter's rights to the Second Amendment? Meaning I cannot stand in her way? I cannot interfere? Which usually doesn't really happen in the Second Amendment, but let me kick it up here. Let me twist it a little bit, okay? So we're kind of clear on that, okay? And you're still saying, Now, let's just say you have a right to the Second Amendment, okay? All right, cool. I have a right to be safe with you exercising your right to the Second Amendment. Meaning, with you owning guns, I have a right to be safe with you owning a gun. You don't have a right to shoot me. You don't have a right to hurt me. A lot of people forget about that part. But that's the whole basis of laws. Or, excuse me, what laws were supposed to be. Now, that's the key word. Doesn't mean, people, it doesn't mean I agree with any of them. I'm just stating the fact. Laws are mainly there to help even out people's rights so people don't infringe on other people's rights. You with a gun cannot hurt me with that gun. Okay? Now, let's get past that, okay? Let's talk about these protesters, these cowards, occupiers. Oh, God, that was horrible. Okay. The rights thing will come into clear here. Okay. They say they have a right to protest. They do. Okay? I don't give a fuck what they're protesting. I don't give a fuck, okay? I'm just using them as an example because they make the perfect example. I don't care if they were protesting that they want to suck cock. Okay? I don't care. Okay, so these occupiers, they got signs. They got banners. They're living in the park. They took over the park. All the grass is now dirt, mud and muck and everything else. So of course that all has to be reseeded. They're building a tent city and structures on this, illegally, of course, because they have no permits to build on public land that they don't even own. So, they're doing all this crap. They're even building daycares because somebody thinks it's cool to have little 2-year-olds at these things living there. Okay, then You know, during the day they take shifts and they go out in the street, block traffic, go on the sidewalk, block traffic, screaming and yelling whatever the fuck they're talking about. Whatever the neo-Nazis are paying them for this week. So, if I was a citizen of Manhattan, or New York, whatever the fuck, I'm not sure how that all works over there, whatever, and I was walking down the street, okay, I have a right to walk down the street and not be stopped by these fucking clowns. Any unusual stopping, of course they get, you know, the city has the right to put traffic shit there and for safety and everything else, but I'm talking about people blocking people because they're protesting. Their right to protest in no way can hinder my right to walk down the fucking street without any unnormal fucking bullshit. Them screaming at me, them calling me a motherfucker because I'm walking in a stock exchange with stacks of money over my shoulder, or anything else. So they like to scream all day long that they have rights. And they do. What about the rights of everybody else? The rights of me wanting to use that park. The right for me wanting to take my kid to the park and enjoy looking at the fucking doves that they've already killed, or whatever, the birds. You know? It's fucking pathetic. People want to scream, my rights, my rights, my rights. Well, your rights aren't shit. It's everybody's rights. And just because you have rights, you can't stomp on other people's. Those people are down there, they're fucking... You know what the worst of what these bastards are doing? It's not that they're protesting and fucking up the city and everything else, costing millions of fucking dollars. There's a lot of small businesses down there that cater to people in the stock exchange and stuff like that. You know, mom and pop coffee shops and sandwich shops and shit like that. And these motherfuckers are going in those shops and fucking destroying them. Fucking up their bathrooms and just tearing the shit up. And when anybody, you know, the shop owner says, hey, you know, have some fucking courtesy. You know, they just fucking cuss them out. They call it a piece of shit and everything else. So a lot of these shops, and this is not just in New York, this is Oakland and a couple other places, they are actually closing doors, laying people off, taking their valuables out of there so that nothing will happen. So sure, these protesters have their rights to protest. Do they have a right to do all that bullshit? No. And again, this video isn't for everyone. This is just, you know, that select group. We've all seen them. And it's not just guns. It's not just protesting. It's, you know, freedom of speech. All that other bullshit. They want to scream it all day long, but they don't understand that not only is it two ways, but there's also other factors involved. Nothing is that cut in your eye. Anywho, peace!